Was I'd be just a weirdo
One of the dozens.
going to going to watch the Borderlands movie by myself.
I can't believe I walked into the theater. Stream going, by the way. Starting now. I can't believe I walked into the theater. I got princess parking. I walked in. I was literally the only person in the lobby. And the ticket attendant looked up at me and he goes, "Oh, there's a rush today." I walked up. He's like, "What do you see?" And I said, "Oh, I'm going to see Borderlands." He goes, "All right, well, I've got a lot of high expectations for this one, but I'm waiting until I hear from some other people before I do." Oh. All right, well,
Yeah, when I showed up, there was a girl at the door, and she looked like she just didn't want to be there. So it was 9 o'clock. I went to go see this movie at 9 o'clock on a Saturday, folks.
Jesus Christ.
I had a lot of coffee, and I really needed to pee by the time the credits hit.
That's 9 o'clock. Is that East Coast time? Are you East Coast?
Cool.
Okay.
So I had to wake up at 8 o'clock to go see this movie.
Damn.
Huh.
Yeah, 10 a.m. PST for me. Oh, thank you, Andrew. Yes, he actually was here. We can start. So,
It might be 1 p.m. EST.
welcome to the second ever live in the garage, but the first ever live review by me, Getty, and William all together. This might be our last, depending on how. But we are reviewing the Borderlands movie. I've got some one of our old Borderlands 2 streams in the background. So what we're gonna do? This is gonna be all spoilers. We're not gonna hold back from talking about anything. So if you want to see the movie,
By the time we're done with this podcast, you could have watched the movie.
Absolutely. So we're gonna start off. We're each gonna give our little capsule review of what we thought of the movie in total. Then we're gonna talk about the story. Then we're gonna talk about how we felt about the individual characters. And we'll wrap it up with any other, little things we thought. So, Getty, do you want to start us off? Do you want to tell us your capsule review, your short review?
All right, I got my bullet points here. In summary, this really felt like an early 2000s direct-to-DVD video game movie, but it had the budget of $120 million. So, wow. I wanted to fall asleep, but there ain't no rest for the wicked. You know what I mean? Nice. But no, it's 90 minutes, so I didn't get too tired, but it's over before you know it, which is both a good thing and a bad thing because you don't really have time for the characters to build. So anyone going into this movie who knows nothing about Borderlands, and that's not going to happen, will not learn anything about these characters, really.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
I'll let you go, William.
Yeah, William, give us your short form review.
When I remember when we were playing Borderlands, I was not paying attention to anything, so I was thinking, I might actually learn about some of the characters and just small things like their names.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I still forget who's who in this movie. The acting was actually phenomenal, I feel.
Oh.
Unnecessarily good for a movie like this. But that's about it. About where all the good things end. There's about 30 cliches in this movie.
Yeah.
You could predict almost everything that happens. Not worth $20 to watch in IMAX.
Yeah, I saw it in IMAX too. For those of you at home, both William and I went and saw this movie in IMAX.
Every theater in my area only had it on one screen standard, so I got those matinee prices.
Yeah, my local theater actually has canceled all of their other showings that were listed before. There are no more showings for the day. I went and saw the single only showing of the day.
I guess that's another thing we can get into. I've been looking at the seating for my local theaters, and one show has 6 people that are probably just grouped up together to go watch the movie, but every other showing has maybe 1 to 2 people.
Wow. Okay, so my capsule review of Borderlands the movie is, I feel like if the invention of video games is what led to this, then I think video games were a mistake. I think I genuinely would rather play Phantom Fury than watch this movie again. I walked out of the theater feeling like I lost custody of something. Like I felt something taken away from me that I couldn't get back. I felt very empty. Getty, you were saying you almost fell asleep. I very nearly damn well came close to falling asleep during this movie. And
I thankfully went to go see this with my friends, so I was able to stay awake. But if I went to see it solo, then yeah, I would have been nodding my head.
I was fighting for my life. I do want to.
My movie theater was too cold.
Oh man.
Well, that's why they sell a $30 blanket, William. They want you to buy the $30 blanket.
I thought Kate Blanchett was great. I thought Kate Blanchett was actually really good.
I think she's fine. It's just she's too old for the role, so I guess we'll start getting into spoiler stuff.
Yeah.
But like when Tannis is like, "Oh, I raised you," and they're both in their 60s, I'm like, I don't see it.
Yeah, a lot of the the aging up of the characters felt weird. Roland just felt weird in general.
Roland was so strange.
So strange.
I mean, this movie is so miscast. When Kevin Hart stands beside Tiny Tina, he's about the same length as her, and it's
my God, I think he's even shorter.
You could have been Tiny Tina, Kevin Hart.
You could have been Tiny Tina, and as Tiny Tina, it probably would have been more entertaining.
Huh.
I just didn't. I just couldn't. I couldn't get into it.
Like, I thought the girl who played Tiny Tina did a fine job. It's just the writing's terrible.
The writing was terrible. Like, she had the right spirit. You know what I mean? She had the right spirit.
Yeah, she really captured how obnoxious that character is.
I know.
So I wanted to immediately come home, download Borderlands so I could blow up Claptrap. So Jack Black did a good job at making me want to fucking punch Claptrap.
Oh, 100%. Jack Black as Claptrap was perfect because I fucking hated him.
He sounded so much like Claptrap. It was actually scary.
It was really, really good. Whatever voice, like, you know, obviously it's Jack doing his take on the character, but like the vocal modifiers that they did made it sound so close, so good. All right, so let's talk about the story of the movie, because the story kind of takes quite a few liberties with what we know from the Borderlands games.
So, yeah, obviously it kind of combines the aspects of Borderlands 1 and 2 into this movie. Mm-hmm. You know, we have Krieg instead of, you know, Brick. Mordecai is nowhere to be seen, but I feel like with Mordecai's character, you can kind of just leave him off to the side. But I feel like Brick maybe would have been a better pick than Krieg, just because Krieg doesn't do much in the movie. I don't know.
And he only, like, spouts a couple of one-liners that, like, really only makes sense if you're a fan of the games. Otherwise, they just sound really cringy if you're an average moviegoer. Like, they almost felt like they combined aspects of Mordecai with Lilith.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like you could have gotten, I don't know, a bit more comedy out of Brick running up and punching people than Krieg just, "Oh, I'm a meat cycle, I'm gonna cut you up."
Exactly.
I liked Krieg. He was... I didn't laugh at his jokes.
I didn't laugh at all. My friend laughed at one joke, and I guess we'll get into it. So I kind of have a few bullet points that kind of makes the story go in order. So yeah, we start out in an Atlas ship. Tiny Tina's on the ship being held we're on a Crimson Fleet ship, and Tiny Tina's being held hostage. She's supposedly the daughter of Atlas, which isn't the thing in the game, but I'm not going to be like, oh my god, it doesn't follow the games for every story beat. But
right.
We learned that Star Wars is canon in the Borderlands universe because Roland makes a joke like, "Get your freaking stormtrooper helmet ass out of here," or some joke like that.
Hold on. I actually have the quote.
Okay, thank you.
Bitch. Because that's what, that's my first bullet point in my notes. Quote, "Fake stormtrooper ass bitch."
There you go.
Kevin Roland Hart. That was the only fun. That was like one of the two jokes I liked.
I can't remember if that joke was before Tiny Tina calling Kevin Hart short.
Yeah, it was before. It was right before, because he's just like hanging out there trying to breathe. This damn helmet guy got no air holes in it. And like, okay, this is how we're starting. This is literally how we're starting the movie.
And then we cut to Lilith. She's at a bar with a bounty, and then Atlas is like, "Oh, you gotta go get my daughter, Tiny Tina." The movie moves very fast, but it feels super slow. If that makes any sense.
It really does.
It's 90 minutes, but it's the longest 90 minutes of your life. And I'm not saying that because I really needed to pee in the last 20 minutes of the movie.
It was so drawn out, which is weird. Because, okay, so we start there in the beginning on the Atlas ship. Tina's being held captive. Roland gets her out. And then we move to Lilith, as you said, in the bar. And then when she gets to Pandora, there's this weird montage where she goes through life on Pandora, talking about the planet, and kind of like briefly summarizes her searching for Roland and for Tina. And apparently it takes her 2 weeks to catch up with them. And yet somehow that montage felt like one of the longest bits of the movie. Even though it like somehow crammed together 2 weeks worth of adventure, it was still like, this feels like it's taking so long to get to the point.
Well, this movie started principal photography in 2020.
You're
and it had to go through reshoots. So
Yo.
It feels like it's just this cobbled together mess. We got all this footage. It's boring as fuck. Let's just quick montage, quick monologue. Let's go.
Yeah, that makes sense. That explains why it feels so disjointed too. Like, there's a moment later on in the film, not to jump ahead, but there's a moment later on where it's like Roland is gonna get overwhelmed by the psychos, and everyone's leaving him behind, and this is it, it's his last stand. And he's got one of Tina's explosive stuffed animals, Bob the Bunny.
The badonkadonk. The badonkadonk.
Oh
Can
my
you grab my
God.
badonkadonk? I can't believe they
Oh.
said that.
Yes,
In a
Tiny
theater.
Tina.
Tiny
I will
Tina.
grab your badonkadonk.
Wow.
Someone clip that.
Okay, Drake.
Okay, yes, Borderlands 3, Tiny Tina. Can I grab your badonkadonk?
Making distinctions.
There you go.
God, how does it feel to think that Borderlands 3 might now have better writing than the Borderlands movie?
I need to look up the writers. I need to see if Randy Pitchford had any input into the script of this movie.
I'm sure he had to.
I know he was on set all the time because during COVID, he had the behind-the-scenes stuff. Where he's like trying to high-five Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart just doesn't even look at him the whole time.
Oh no. It's like that?
Mm-hmm.
As it should be.
So yeah, then Lilith meets with Tiny Tina, gotta grab the badonkadonk, and then my next bullet point is probably 40 minutes later into the movie about the Roland sacrifice, and I put, we've known Roland for 5 minutes, are we supposed to care?
Yeah, exactly. We just saw... Oh my god, no, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that during that scene, because we saw him for 5 minutes. Also... Here's a question that I've got. Like in that opening sequence, I had so many questions. Roland goes to free Tina. They're leaving. Krieg is on the Atlas ship, right? And that's how we meet Krieg. He's being held prisoner on the Atlas or Crimson Lance ship or whatever it is. And Krieg busts out. And
Somehow
Krieg,
Tiny Tina knows him somehow.
no, Roland did. Roland knew Krieg, and he's even like, "Oh yeah, your name's Krieg, right? How about we be friends now instead of fighting each other?" And Krieg like immediately imprints on Tiny Tina, and it was such a like forced sequence of events where you could almost see the Pepe Sylvia red lines tying everything together in the background. Like, okay, we need this to happen so that this happens so that when we get over here, we could get over here. And I hear, like, how did we? Trying to apply logic is hard here, but how did he like know? I guess if that really was a Crimson Lance ship, then maybe he understood the other prisoners on the Crimson Lance ship, so he's like...
Like in that case, it would have make more sense if it was Brick, because it'd be like, "Oh, Brick, I know who you are. I've seen your bounty around around the systems," or just some weird shit like that.
Yeah, so much. Like, some
random psycho.
Random psycho, yeah. I don't know, that shit didn't make sense.
So yeah, Kevin Hart gets Tiny Tina and Krieg off the ship, and off screen it just crashes because Lilith ends up on it. He's like, "Oh, here's the ship." And again, it's a thing where like this movie has $120 million put into it, and it just feels so cheap. Like, you can see so much green screen shadows when characters are walking. It's just like the scene where Atlas's owner has like a hologram that Lilith's looking at in the cave, like after she rescues Tina. Just looked so cheap.
There was a shot when Lilith is driving into, I think it's Firestone, and the car, which is clearly CGI, rolls past the camera, and the camera pans to follow the car, and they've got live action Cate Blanchett in the car. But I was paying attention, the matching was so horrible. You could see live action Cate Blanchett moving up and down because they couldn't match the movement correctly. That was one of the first things I saw. You're right, there's so much green screen.
It just feels like an early 2000s direct-to-DVD Resident Evil movie.
100%.
Like the Silent Hill movies, like just stuff like that. It just feels so cheap.
Yeah.
Like, did $110 million go to Kevin Hart? Like,
yeah, seriously. They couldn't even give us a fully live-action car chase when they're going through. So Roland shows up, they go through the gully, they're driving through there, and the big chase sequence. Like, I feel like they had close-ups on the vehicle that Roland and everyone were driving, but then every time they pulled away, it was all CGI. They had like my God, guys, Fury Road exists. We can
after
tell.
watching Mad Max Furiosa this year, Deadpool, and this movie, I'm like, okay, I get it. I have had enough Mad Max this year. Can I get no more Mad Max?
But, like, at least they used live-action vehicles in that shit. Like, here, we couldn't even get live-action vehicles. Like, they had the money. They had the money. They could have. Real quick, just so the chat knows, yes, I felt Cate Blanchett was good. And Tommy, no, this is Borderlands 2 footage in the background while we're talking about Borderlands, the movie. Just FYI. In chat says they should make an edit of the movie that's like that Borderlands 3 mod that removes all the cutscenes and dialogue.
That's what I was saying when we got done watching the movie. My friend was talking to his girlfriend, and he was kind of giving her the story beats, and we realized she's never played Borderlands 2. And then I told him about how we have been playing all the Borderlands games, and if he wants to invite me, I am downloading the mod that removes all the dialogue because I just can't do it with any of these games again.
No, seriously. But yeah, the story is so kind of all over the place. Like, it's trying so hard to shove a lot of different Borderlands aspects into a coherent story. Like, the concept that, I mean, we don't know Tiny Tina's backstory in the games. At least, if we do, I've never...
Other than, her parents get murdered, and Roland and Lilith help raise her. And that's how she meets Roland in it.
Yeah. But here, she's apparently... So get this. They talk about the Iridian race, they talk about who built the vaults, and they talk about that's why we are looking for the vaults, because of this technology, and we're looking for a singular vault, because we're still on Borderlands 1 lore, I guess, where there's only one vault that anybody knows about, so they're looking for the one vault. But there's a prophecy that, quote, a daughter of Iridia, unquote, will be the one who unlocks the vault. Now, in order to make this happen, Atlas, the president, Diego, Domenico.
I had no idea. He's just the president of Atlas.
President
Mr.
Hologram.
Atlas.
Yeah, so he created... Jeff Bezos of Atlas created Tiny Tina. So Tina in this movie is a clone. And she was cloned from some Iridian blood that they found on a vault key. So the whole premise is Tina is potentially the person from the prophecy who can open the vault. Atlas has intentionally cloned her to be able to do that. So he's going to take her down to try and open the vault. But everyone else is helping Tina try to escape so that she doesn't get used for evil purposes. Which I think is...
But of course, Tina wants to kill Atlas, so guess what? We end up at the vault anyway.
It feels really like... It felt very contrived. Like, it felt overly complicated. Like, the whole gist of the first Borderlands game is really simple. They're treasure hunters. We're out here searching for this vault. Maybe it should be opened, maybe it shouldn't, but we're gonna do the thing. I don't see why we had to, like, for this adaptation, spin out into such a complicated, well, I'm a clone and I'm special, but I was experimented on, and so, you know, are we talking about somebody who has feelings or is an actual person, and now we gotta protect her, we gotta do all this stuff. It's like, guys, just Indiana Jones this shit. Just fucking Indiana Jones meets Mad Max, and that's all you had to do. Throw in some cool set pieces where you're fighting some alien. Okay, I will say, there was one moment in the movie that genuinely worked for me. And unfortunately, it was already seen in the trailer, so everybody knows it. But it's that scene where they're going through the car chase in the valley, and then the Thresher pops up, and they hit the booster, they shoot the rockets in the Thresher's mouth, and they blow the back of its head open as they pass through its mouth and out the other side. I was like, okay. That was actually really cool.
Isn't that what Duke Nukem did in Duke Nukem Forever?
Did he do that?
At the end, where he was on the moon.
Oh, I don't know.
He did that to the alien queen.
It's been a while since I played Forever.
Yeah, I only remember it from the Civi video that I block out of my memory.
Tommy wants to know if we get any nudity or romance scenes in this movie, and thankfully, no.
This is a PG-13 movie, and you can tell there's no gore, there's a bit of swearing, but it's not excessive.
Yeah, weirdly enough, because
Very
like
disappointing.
Yeah. Okay,
No gore.
was anybody else distracted by Jamie Lee Curtis's boobs?
Yes!
Thank you. I was like, oh, whoa, hey, whoa, what, guys? Can we, I know that technically a video game accurate, character accurate outfit for Tannis, but my god, Jamie Lee Curtis still has a nice rack, and that's almost as if they were like highlighting that. I was so distracted.
One positive, everybody. The movie has good boobs. We got Mad Motsy, and they're all from MILFs.
It's true.
We have good MILFs in this movie. There you go. There's the one positive.
I really did like, and I say like...
Can we stop talking about boobs?
Yeah.
Calm down, William. Calm down. Oh yeah, we might get demonetized if we talk about boobs too much. We don't want to do that. We don't want to get
talking
demonetized.
about the birds. We're talking about the birds.
Talking about birds.
Money.
Fucking. Oh, where was I going? I had a thing. I had a thing.
Yeah, we get to a point where all the characters are together and they're going up an elevator, and Roland has to sacrifice himself to rewire the elevator, and it's played off like, oh, you've known Roland for 3 hours. He's going to sacrifice himself to fix the elevator, and it just has no effect. And then 5 minutes later, he just digs himself up on top of a bunch of corpses and is like, "Yep, that was the worst orgy ever."
Which,
oh yeah,
like that line would be funny if it didn't feel so weirdly placed.
And if he wasn't completely clean and getting up with his berets still on, like all the characters don't get dirty throughout any of this movie.
They get a little dirty there, but it's only played for laughs. Like when they go through the Thresher, and everyone is everyone's like all covered in filth after that.
After they all get peed on.
Yeah,
guys. The trailers are the whole movie. Like, if you want to see this movie, just watch the trailers.
It really is. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Cate Blanchett's Lilith is not a siren throughout most of the movie. In fact, like they keep talking about how Tina's the one who's gonna open up the vault and be the daughter of Iridia in the prophecy.
Oh my god, I hated that.
Excuse me, but then they keep like Lilith used to live on Pandora in the story, and she keeps running into characters like Tannis and Moxie, who knew her mother. It was like, your mother always knew you were so special, and she would love to see you, blah, 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 blah. And like, I wish we could tell you just how special you are. Your mother thought you were so special. You were so special. You were so special. Like, hammering it in. And Lilith is just like, bah, boo-hoo, never mind, whatever. And they keep trying to, like, deflect from it, but they do a terrible job of trying to make it not look like Lilith is actually the person in the prophecy. She does end up going full Firehawk mode, which I thought was cool. I'm not gonna lie.
But before then, we have in this 90-minute movie, we need to have a recap of all the scenes. Like, your mom saying how special you are.
Flashback.
Saying how special you are. And this 90-minute movie where you can't forget anything because it's so quick.
That was a bit insulting. Like, if she had just flashed back to being a kid, like, oh my god, she said, like, I was 8 years old, I barely remember my mom's face. But then it's the very clear flashback to her mom saying, you were from the planet Iridia and you are the Firehawk. Like, telling to her face. Like, I get it. But even at 8 years old, don't you think maybe you would kind of remember that? Kind of remember your mom telling you straight to your face, hey, you're a Firehawk. You came from the planet Iridia. Like, but it also raises so many questions. Like, how is she do? How did she? Does that mean all sirens are technically Iridians in this universe now? Because that's what what it implies.
Oh yeah, guys, this is the start of the Borderlands cinematic universe.
Oh,
look at watch. All right, guys, this is the end of the Borderlands cinematic universe.
I genuinely...
On top of all the flashbacks, we also have Lilith visiting her house for like 3 minutes. And like William was saying, the cliche is she pulls up an audio log of her mom being like, I'm probably dead now. You know, one of those types of things. Hey guys, I'm probably dead now, but you're so special.
Yeah,
if you're seeing this, I'm dead.
I'm dead. And Claptrap being basically R2-D2 for Lilith, in that he recognized her and was programmed to recognize her if she ever came back. The fact that the two of them even collided, even met each other on this giant ass wasteland planet is just the odds are catastrophic. Like, the fact that that's the plot point that they went with, that Claptrap was essentially a droid that Lilith's mom used and put this message for Lilith into, so if Lilith ever came back, we could have done this so simply and straightforwardly, but every single turn of the screw, the story just like doubles down on how complicated it is, and rather than coming off as cool at all, it just brings up more questions. There's just so many astronomical. Thank you. I did say catastrophic. I was trying to think of astronomical, but catastrophic odds. Yeah, it is kind of catastrophic. I'll stand by that statement. It was just so overly complicated. I couldn't figure out why they had to make it so complicated.
And then we had the segment where they're going through Sanctuary, or as Kevin Hart calls it, Sanctuary City.
Oh, yeah.
They got the masks on from the video game, so there you go. There's your little bit of fan service. But that's another thing. This movie doesn't have much fan service. So it's not for Borderlands fans, and it's not for casual fans. It's for nobody. This is a film for nobody.
Oh, it really is, isn't it? It's a film for
Lilith has the infinite ammo pistol, exotic weapon for Borderlands 2.
I thought that was a nice touch.
That's the only thing I noticed. And for a series that's based around all the cool guns, there's really not any cool guns in this movie.
No, there really isn't. They're so fucking bland.
Yeah, there's no cool Malawan elemental weapons or anything like that. It's just basic shit.
Oh god, when Atlas is like, oh, you cannot hurt me because I have my Opens jacket, personal Atlas shield. That was so corny. It was
Ranger, you saw this in IMAX, right?
I did, yeah.
Was the audio just so ass for you?
No, for me, the audio was super loud. Like, my ears were hurting.
The gunshot sounds, I was genuinely thinking of just putting on my headphones for the rest of the movie, because the gunshot sounds were so screechy. They were not satisfying at all.
I mean, I don't know that I would say screechy. You know, they had no
pitch.
Ooh, you know what? You might be onto something there. I didn't really have any problems with the audio or like the gunfire. Like it felt like the guns had no punch to them, though, for sure.
Definitely not helped by the fact that there was a disappointingly low amount of gore for this movie.
Yeah, that's what again. It's PG-13, so again they had reshoots. So I saw someone on Reddit thinking maybe this was originally going to be an R, and they went back in after the bad test screenings and tried to make it PG-13 just to get as much money as they could from this, flop because they knew it was going to do bad. I don't know. Not having any gore in a Borderlands movie is weird.
Yeah, very weird. I mean, when you like them not making it an R-rated movie, like Borderlands should have been an R-rated movie, hands down. I understand the need these days to still go and lean on PG-13 in order to try and capture the widest possible audience, but like, my guys, let's look at Deadpool and Wolverine. It's like the highest grossing R-rated movie ever. Like, you could still make money with an R-rated movie if you just do it right.
But yeah, there are no cool guns in this movie for a series that prides itself on 87 bazillion guns. When you see this gun, you're gonna want to fuck it. Like, there's nothing like that in this movie. Like I said, Lilith has the exotic infinite ammo pistol from Borderlands 2, and that's it. There's nothing fun.
No, there is nothing. Like,
none of the guns turned me on.
No. Not even, like, Tina's bazooka was kind of cool looking.
I like the costumes in the movie. Like that weird fucking psycho at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
it's like all
Crom.
black.
Yeah, and he like shows up for half a second. Man, the ending sequence, that ending fight sequence. Man, when the one psycho you mentioned, Crom, when he showed up, I was like, all right, Krieg and Crom, they're gonna throw down, and it's gonna be cool. I just want these two to fucking go at it, big fisticuffs, lots of muscles bulging, let's do this. And they maybe punched each other twice before Krieg kills him with his, like, saw blade staff. But, like, the way that they shot that, we didn't even see the swipe. Like, Krieg moves, and then suddenly Crom is like, and falls into the pit. It's like, my guys, why did you do this like this?
I think Civi talked about it in this Matt's Pain video, but it feels like they didn't have like an action guy on set. They're just camera cut, camera cut to hide everything.
Yeah, during that specific sequence that he talked about in his video and criticized, that was all I could think about. That was all I could see, and he was dead right about everything. All right, so like, what did you guys think about the characters? Like, obviously the characters are different from how they were in the games. Let's start with Lilith, since she's kind of like I feel like she's the main character. It's an ensemble piece, but I feel like she's the main character for this movie for a variety of reasons. So, how did you feel about her portrayal and Cate Blanchett, her performance?
I mean, I'm fine with her portrayal. It's just she's a bit too old for the role, and like I said, it's weird when she's beside Tannis, and it's like, oh, I raised you, and they're both, in their 60s.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I could definitely see her like what you mean by her being too old, but I don't know. I feel like I'm too old for this movie.
Again, it's a movie for no one.
It really is. I was so tired by the end of this. I was so tired. I was so exhausted. Like, I was checking my watch, man. Like, and I wasn't even wearing a watch. I was just wondering, when are we done? When are we fucking done with this movie?
Roland's supposed to be this tall, stoic character, and Kevin Hart just isn't Roland.
It's like...
No, yeah, I think Cate Blanchett did a better job for Lilith than fucking Kevin Hart ever did for Roland.
100%. I didn't mind Kate. I didn't mind them aging up the character. I didn't mind them aging up Cate Blanchett or having Cate Blanchett. Her age did not factor. That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't mind her age for the character. Like, it is weird that the movie did try to make it seem like she was a lot younger than the actress playing her, though. that did
I'm
feel
just going
weird.
to assume they had no idea who was going to play these characters, and that was just part of the screenplay.
Yeah, I think so. I honestly felt like, for me, the only part of the film that kind of saves it for me is Lilith. The character, the kind of like tired but still got
jaded
kind of
attitude.
Oh, 100%. How she kept, like, doing that thing where her hair got in her face and she kept, like, blowing it out of her face, like, once or twice. I thought that was a really nice little touch, because it showed that they were aware of how silly the whole hairstyle was.
One thing I thought was cute is when Lilith and them are in the bar, she does her inventory stance screen, so she's got the 2 thumbs on her belt, and she's kind of standing still. I'm like, yeah, that's the pose she has when you're checking your inventory. So stuff like that's cute.
She did a lot of posing, though. That's what I noticed and stuck out really hard to me. She kept posing. She did the hip out and, like, standing there, like the character select screen. And I couldn't figure out why that was the direction that they went with. But I thought her portrayal of the character, she almost had, like, she was almost kind of like doing some subtle work, some like subtle emotions. She had some softness to it. And I almost... God, I just said I don't want to watch this movie again, but I almost want to just watch her scenes in the movie again and examine them, because she's doing something different than everyone else in the movie. And then since William already compared this, I think let's move on to Roland, who is just not only wildly miscast, but he's just a dude. There's nothing about him in this movie that makes him appealing in any way, shape, or form. Like, Getty mentioned that Roland is like this stoic, kind of silent guy, but part of his character is that, he doesn't talk a lot, but what he does say is very impactful, and he's got a big heart, and he's out here trying to help people. And I don't know what the motivation behind Roland was. He's just helping Tannis. He doesn't have any personal stakes. It's just, he's just a plot device.
Yeah, when the movie starts out, he says he's an Atlas soldier, but there's, from what I remember, my brain got fried. There's not much like, oh, I'm just wanting to betray Atlas because I don't think this is right. You shouldn't be using, you shouldn't be trying to clone somebody to open the vault and just things like that.
Right. They don't dive into his character at all.
Which is what I said. When he tries to sacrifice himself to get the elevator going, it just doesn't have much of an impact because we've seen him for maybe 7 minutes.
Which is interesting because that scene there when he's like about to toss the explosive bunny, that the way that it's shot and Kevin Hart's performance just in that one moment where he looks down, he goes, "Are you ready to do this, Bob?" And he has Bob the bunny nod. He has the little bunny nod. He's like, "Yeah, okay, that's what I thought." That felt like that had to have been one of the reshot scenes, because that felt like there was more character and actual performance in that one, like, 20-second moment than there was from the entirety of the movie combined for Roland. I don't know what it was about that, but it really felt like there was a character rather than a performance happening.
I'm sure one day we'll get the breakdown on all the behind-the-scenes stuff. But yeah, I would love to know what got reshot.
Yeah, the director's cut would be amazing for us. It'll be 3 hours long.
There we go, the 3-hour Borderlands movie.
Oh my God. Give us the Randy cut. Tina, how do we feel about Tina?
As annoying as I remember.
Yeah.
But I'm special. It was like,
I think the girl that played her did a perfectly fine job. It's just the writing.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, good writing for a character like Tina means you won't like her. Good writing for any of these characters means you won't like them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. I think that's true. Inherently, all the characters in Borderlands are unlikable.
Unlikable, insane, annoying. It's unfortunate, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Mm.
She's definitely toned down from the game, so, asking for a flavor of the badonkadonks, I'm gonna blow this shit up. What? Stuff like that.
I did like the one bit where she has Claptrap talk smack to the psychos as a distraction, and like he's saying everything that she told him to say, and then she's in the background mouthing it. That was a nice little touch.
That felt like the most Borderland-esque dialogue this whole movie had.
It really did.
And that's the one part that Randy came in to write or something like that.
It's a 7.5, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I felt sick during that scene.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
During that entire scene, I'm like, yep, this is Borderlands. This is the 5 seconds of Borderlands.
Yeah.
Dialogue we're getting.
Flashbacks. Yeah, I agree. I think I think the actor did a serviceable job, but the writing for the character was just all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the actress. There was one line at first. It was one of the 3 moments I laughed at during the film, and it was like Lilith first shows up, and she's like, "I'm here to rescue you," and Tina's like, "Are you sure I'm the one who needs to be rescued? Because I'm up here, and you're underneath the car, hiding underneath the car, like a bitch." And the way she delivered that last part was actually caught me off guard.
It was real. That was a good moment. That was a really good moment.
It almost made me think that the movie was going to go into a not darker, but like a more, edgy.
Mm-hmm. What were your other 2 laughing moments?
It was the fucking fake ass stormtrooper. that made me laugh. And it was right before they went into the Thresher's mouth. Mm-hmm. And this is just complete fucking nonsense humor that just caught me off guard. Tina was like crying for something because they were about to fall off this cliff, and Roland was like, "Shut up!" And then it cut straight away right after, right as he finished saying that, he's like, "Shut up!" and then just cuts away.
No, I swear during that scene, Tiny Tina's actress had a portion where she screamed, and they used that same screen across 3 different other shots. So I kept hearing. They used the same scream 3 different times.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that scream just be put in randomly. Mm-hmm. Without any reason.
It's the scream she does right before she gets pee in her mouth. It sounds exactly like that, and she makes that noise 4 or 5 other times. So it's like, did you not have enough audio for screaming that you just cut and paste it into other scenes for ADR?
I mean, it's only $120 million that they spent on this movie. How much do you think that they can afford to spend on unique screaming sound effects?
The only time my friend laughed was when they're going through Sanctuary and Claptrap passes a vending machine, and he says, I have a bullet point for it, hold up. Hey, Sugar Bits, looking for a firmware upgrade? That's the only time my friend laughed throughout the whole movie.
Oh, Krieg did have a line that made me laugh. I think Tanis said something to him along the lines of, "Good job, handsome." And Krieg looks at her and goes, "Thank you!" That one, I was not expecting that, so it did catch me off guard. I was like, oh, all right, you can do this. You can still pull this off a little bit. You just have to actually think about what you're doing.
Also surprised we didn't get a couple other fan servicey bits at the start of the movie, or Claptrap's like, "Oh, this is 138 days on foot." Mm-hmm. Lilith didn't go down the road and find a catch a ride or meet Scooter or something. Just little things that would make it more like a Borderlands movie.
Did anybody else notice at the end when all the fireworks and everything going off, and we got the one shot of Moxie, but that was Ellie next to her?
Yeah,
did you notice
I could tell
that?
by her rotundness.
Jesus Christ, William. Well, did anybody else notice that
there were
Scooter
more
was
boobs
in that shot?
The movie, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, there were big. There were even gianter boobs.
But no, I did not notice that. When I legally obtain the movie, I'll need to look for that.
Yeah, seriously. You'll have to help me. Tell me where I can also legally obtain the movie. When,
of course.
Grimbeard has a great way of saying that. He says, when I bought it at Walmart. That's his code for legal.
Soon we won't be able to say that because Walmart's getting rid of the physical stuff, and so is Best Buy and probably Target.
Jesus
physical
Christ.
is dead, brothers.
End of an era. It's all the hipsters who want physical
die.
stuff.
I'm ready for the big meteor, Yellowstone, gonna blow up, kill us all. I'm ready.
I couldn't stand Moxie,
found...
by the way. I could not stand her. Whatever that accent that they had her doing was terrible. It didn't even sound like Moxie.
My mom found a bunch of floppy disks.
Ooh.
From when she was 20, apparently, that she bought.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if you guys ever need fresh floppy disks,
I just need to get.
We have like 4 of them.
Just need to get a drive.
One for each of us.
Yes. Oh yes.
When we meet up for the LAN party, we'll get the floppy disk.
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna have to find a way to like actually install some games using floppies. That'll be part of it.
So yeah, the movie ends. Lilith turns out to be the Firehawk. She's the chosen one. So she opens the vault and she kills Mr. Atlas. And we get the Borderlands 1 ending where Cthulhu monster comes out. And what's in the vault? I don't know. Some alien Rubik's Cubes in the movie.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It's just the most generic alien, ancient technology thing you could ever find.
Absolutely.
It's very similar to the end of Borderlands 1 where it's like, I don't know what's in that vault. Like, I don't know. See you in the next game.
Yeah.
What's in there? Family.
Family. Yeah, Vin Diesel should have been in this movie.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Sometimes I forget he's alive.
He's going to be starring in Arc 2 whenever that comes out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, remind me.
You know what? Genuinely, absolutely, I think Vin Diesel would have brought more to the role of Roland than Kevin Hart did.
Vin Diesel's Borderlands.
Vin Diesel's Borderlands. Considering we got Kevin Hart and Jack Black in this movie, The Rock should have been Roland, because then we could have had the Jumanji reunion. They all play really well off of each other. Like, how did they... Well, no, Kevin Hart would have not been in the movie then if The Rock was Roland, so I guess...
I mean, either Kevin Hart's making $50 million or The Rock's making $50 million, so you gotta decide who's making that money.
It's true. The Rock could have been Brick. Let's throw Krieg out the window and have him be Brick. And then there you go. That would have been an easy choice.
That was his name. Brick.
Brick. He played the fairy godmother in the Wonderlands. No, Tiny Tina's the dragons. Assault the Dragon King.
He's Fairy Punch Mother or whatever.
Thank you very much. I knew it had to do with something with the punch. Terry Crews for Roland. That would have been perfect. Terry Crews for Roland.
Absolutely.
Easy choice. Easy.
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, B. Jordan would have fucking ripped that shit apart. That would have been awesome. Give him the Creed treatment. Just let him go ham on that. That would have been great.
I think I wouldn't have been happy, though, if I saw Michael B. Jordan be touched by this movie.
Oh, man, it's hard. It's hard to watch everybody in this movie. Like, also, what was up with Bobby Lee's Larry? Like, what the fuck is Larry?
I screamed, what? When he popped up in the movie. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
My sister was looking at the cast, and she was like, Bobby Lee's in this. And I'm like, really? That's who? And she said, Larry. And I was like, oh. Larry.
Yeah, Larry. That
Larry, yeah.
That guy. Whoever the fuck.
Yeah, whoever the fuck Larry.
Who's Larry in Borderlands? I don't know.
There was no purpose to that scene other than here's a random dude. Here's fucking Larry.
I don't even like Bobby Lee.
No, I don't like Bobby Lee either. I will say that for parallel thinking, that does remind me of a quick scene where, like, when they were getting ready, when they were going to go up the elevator, and Roland and Krieg were holding off the psychos, and then Roland shoots the pipes with the acid in them, and all the psychos are getting drowned in acid. There was like one of them, you could kind of hear it in the background. It was a little hard to hear, but one of them shouts out, "I regret everything!" Like a nice little Borderlands Easter egg with all the psychos shouting out their shit.
I'm honestly surprised Randy Pitchford didn't make a cameo anywhere in the movie just for like 5 seconds.
Oh my god, the fact that he didn't play Marcus,
I like Marcus.
I did like.
Well, I meant to look up if that's the guy who just plays him in the games and they just modeled it after his real life self, because he sounds exactly like him.
That would be so cool. That would
Because
be
I think
so
a lot of
cool.
the voice actors in Borderlands 1 were just developers from Gearbot, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was just the same dude and they just modeled it after his real life self.
The Marcus callback, like his whole bit was actually on character. It's like, I'm sorry, this is a tour bus for Vault Hunters. I'm not a Vault Hunter. Of course you're not. And, you know, just totally playing it off. And then when they see each other in Sanctuary City, and Lilith is walking past, and he's like, how's it going with you not being a Vault Hunter? And Tina's like, she's a Vault Hunter now. And he goes, ha ha ha, I told you. That was a nice callback. That was actually a nice little callback there. I thought that one worked.
But I think that's all my bullet points for the most part.
Yeah.
I like the soundtrack.
What I was not paying attention to anything. What songs are in this movie? Because when the second the credits started, I ran to the bathroom,
Oh.
and I got back just in time to hear Claptrap say something stupid, and then we walked out of the theater.
Well, I don't know about songs, but like the actual like tracks were good.
Well, the credits didn't have No Rest for the Wicked. I was waiting on it, but it didn't have it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. The moment the credits opened, I walked out.
The fact that we did get a track from The Heavy, but it wasn't Shortchange Hero. Like, wait a minute. You guys are using the wrong song in the movie. In the chat says that Marcus in the movie is apparently played by the voice actor of Dutch from Red Dead Redemption.
That's
Ditch.
Interesting.
Maybe they should have stuck to the plan from this movie.
I had a plan.
We should have went to Tahiti instead of seeing this movie.
I felt so... I was convinced. I'm like, okay, there's got to be an after credit scene because that's what they always do. They're going to try and set up another movie. They've already been talking about making a sequel, which there's no way they're going
Cinematic universe for Borderlands.
There's no fucking way they're making a sequel to this.
Like a handsome Jack, like, hey, I'm here, but no.
Right,
I think maybe they knew this was going to flop, so they didn't bother.
I never ever really want there to be after credits. Like, I'm kind of tired of that. But I was like, okay, I know they're going to do one. I'm just going to sit here through the credits. And when one didn't pop up, I felt so, like,
elated.
Cheated. No, not even elated. I was like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? I just sat here through these credits. You could have done this thing. You could have done this thing. And I was thinking I was going to get home if I get up and leave. And then it's going to be like, oh, look at the end credit scene that's here on YouTube. I'm like, oh, fuck, I didn't stay for the thing. But the credits just end, and then the lights come up, and I was like, you're kidding me. I could not get out of the movie theater fast enough.
I do hate how Marvel has tainted everyone's minds with post-credit scenes. Like, went to go see A Quiet Place day one, and my friends are just sitting in their chairs like, guys, do you need to see if there's a post-credit scene for this fucking movie? Go home. For the prequel, you know what's gonna happen. Like, for movies that mean nothing, we're sitting and waiting for the credits.
One thing I will say about sitting during the credits is that I have, unless somebody wants to get up and leave, even before after credits scenes started, I've always just sat through the credits. It feels like a nice, almost kind of like, you know, when you're done with your meal and you just kind of sit back, your plate's empty, you're just sitting there, you're just feeling it, you know what I mean? Like that's sitting through the credits for me. Like I'll sit through all the way through the main credits, listen to the soundtrack in the background, credits end, movie's actually all the way done. I'm like, cool, now I'm done. But like to sit just I do also lament people expecting those end credit sequences. I do agree with you on that take though, that Marvel has kind of ruined that shit.
Like, I get it if we're sitting in a Marvel movie, but we're sitting in something random. Like I said, A Quiet Place day one, it's like, guys, can we just go?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird. So it's wait for post credits for a movie that is a prequel to a movie that already came out.
To a movie you're gonna forget about in a week.
It's kind of how
Was it bad?
I mean, it was fine, but I mean, it's just the thing of Marvel movies is tainting everyone's minds. For gotta make sure there's nothing after the credits.
Yeah, because then we might get the
FOMO.
hidden.
We need to maximize we need to make our money's worth.
So if you guys had to give a numerical value, a numerical score to this flick, what would you give it?
2 out of 10.
Wow, instantaneous. He did not sleep on that at all. My God.
The only thing giving it credits are MILF tits and the soundtrack.
Yeah, we got 2 boobs, so we're 2 out of 10 for each boob.
2 out of 10.
Or 1 out of 10 for each boob. You know what I mean. 1 for each boob. There we go. But if this movie was 2.5 hours long, I probably wouldn't rate it a 1 out of 10 just because it'd just be. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
there probably is 3 hours of footage somewhere in the background for this movie, but it just didn't make it to the cut after all the reshoots and things like that.
There's got to be like 6 different endings.
Mm-hmm. There has to be something with like Handsome Jack in a post-credit scene, but after the bad, pre-screenings, they just didn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The movie probably started off with Handsome Jack as the villain.
Oh.
He's definitely like the most, besides the Psycho, he's the most and Claptrap.
Randy probably went in thinking, well, we're going to do a sequel to this, so we want to save Handsome Jack for the sequel. Why blow our load instantaneously?
And you definitely know he said blow our load because
he
doesn't like a good joke.
Say that.
Randy, you owe me a lot of skeleton keys for seeing this movie.
Absolutely. I am also
There should have been shift keys at the end.
There should have been shift keys.
I added Randy Pitchford on Twitter before he went to go see it Friday night. I'm like, Randy, I need my skeleton keys.
There were shift keys in the movie posters. Did you see those?
I think I did,
No.
yeah.
I'm also
thank God I don't play this game anymore.
I'm also going to give this movie a 2 out of 10. Kate Blanchett was probably the highlight of the movie for me. Like, she held it together more than pretty much everybody else in this movie. And I actually kind of liked Lilith's character, but everything else surrounding this, the writing, the directing, the acting, the wildly uneven tone, there's just so many different tropes and cliches and stereotypes all thrown together when they could have made it so much simpler and streamlined, and it would have been a lot more entertaining. I felt empty walking out of the movie theater. I just felt empty, like I lost something. I don't know.
Like you were saying, they're already canceling screenings, so this will probably be on streaming within a month.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe
I found it on 123 Movies already.
Oh,
is it an actual rip, or is it just dude with camcorder? Because I don't like dude with camcorder.
No. I don't know. I didn't look at it. I didn't want to risk getting spoiled.
Well, with today's sponsor, NordVPN.
Oh my God. NordVPN.
I'm your ultra nightmare motherfucker. We gotta watch those awful Doom movies one day for Patreon.
Oh yeah, we do.
Motherfucker.
Oh yeah, we do. I don't think I've ever seen. That's not true. I have seen the second one, but it was at work. So I worked at a bar for a while where Sunday afternoons, I worked all day Sunday open to close at this bar, and they basically said, you have a blank check of whatever you want to put on the TV. So one Sunday afternoon, I played both Doom movies, one right after the other.
And I got fired.
Oh man, they needed me too much. So I kind of have seen the second one. I saw the first one in the theater.
The only thing I've seen of the first one is the first-person shooter segment.
It was Doom and Alien vs. Predator Requiem are the 2 movies that I took my dad and brothers to go see in the theater, and on the way out after the movie was done, for those 2 movies, I looked at everyone and said, I'm so sorry, guys. I apologized both times because it was just like, that was not a good time. That was a very bad movie to sit and watch.
I liked Requiem.
My grandma joined us for Deadpool, and she did not have a good time.
Oh no!
She thought it was Spider-Man.
Oh no!
So it's me, my cousins, my cousin's wife, and a couple of other friends, and like my grandma's in the area. So like, oh, you should come see this movie. It's got Wolverine in it. And she thought Deadpool was Spider-Man. And within 5 minutes, she was like,
I can only imagine Grandma's reaction to the line, "Come again, this time in my ear."
I wish I should have watched. I didn't watch.
Go watch Deadpool, everybody. On the way down to the screen, they had Borderlands on. We passed Deadpool. Borderlands.
Oh
Yeah.
my lord.
Deadpool's where it's at. Don't. Borderlands is going to be fun to watch if you already are paying for a streaming service and you are like, cool, I got nothing else going on tonight. I'm going to drink myself to a blackout and then I'm going to watch Borderlands. It's like, there are some movies that are so bad that they're entertaining, and I'm fine with an entertainingly bad movie. Like, be so bad that I'm just like aghast at what you're doing. But if you're so bad that I'm fucking bored and wondering how much more time there is left in an action movie like this, I can't co-sign it. I can't even co-sign it.
What made me depressed mostly was that
Yeah.
when I went, this was like a theater that I really liked, and when I went into the lobby, there's just no one there.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, oh, that's depressing.
Like I said, we got there at 9 o'clock in the morning, so my friend's like, oh, do I go get a beer for this fucking movie? I'm like, no, dude.
Oh, but you should.
Honestly, I didn't get any snacks. I'm thinking back on it, I definitely should have gotten some snacks.
Same.
'Cause I needed some dopamine, some serotonin, something good in my life.
Some
Like watching
anything.
I'm
Like,
glad I didn't have anything, because like I said, I really needed to pee like 20 minutes before the movie ended, and I just held it in.
Just pee on the seats.
True.
Yeah. So that's Borderlands the movie. And
You get to see Claptrap shit out a whole bunch of bullets.
Oh my god.
All
yeah.
the stuff that's in the trailer is the movie, guys.
Dude, serious. And they didn't even go with the dialogue. So this is a pet peeve of mine when movies do this. Like, they show you a scene in the trailer, right? And then that scene either doesn't make it into the final cut or gets changed before the final cut. Like, the dialogue that Claptrap had during that scene where he's shitting out all the bullet casings. I distinctly remember him saying, like, I can't do this if you're watching. I can't. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I need you to watch. I need you to keep watching, which I thought was kind of a funny line. But instead, he just keeps talking about pinching off a loaf instead, which I'm like, wait, why did you change that? Why did you change the dialogue? Did it just not test well? Did you have like several different Jack Black improvs during the Claptrap shits out bullet casing scene, and you just last second were like, nah, we like this one better? That's such a tiny thing, though. It's a very tiny thing for me to complain about. But I have a pet peeve when you see something in a trailer, and then when you get to the movie, it's like completely different. Like, wait, why did you tease me like that? Why did you show me that thing in a trailer and then not actually put it in the movie?
We'll get the 2-hour straight to Hulu cut one day.
Oh god. Oh no, that's ooh, wait, will it go to Hulu or will it go to Peacock?
I have
Go
no
to hell.
clue.
It's probably going to Hulu. It's a Lionsgate movie. I was thinking it was a Universal movie for some reason, because Universal movies always go to Peacock.
Yeah, that's the first thing I googled when I got down. Okay, Lionsgate, what do they normally upload their stuff onto? And then like all the Hunger Games movies are on Hulu, so I'm like, sure, Hulu.
There you go. Yeah, Lionsgate, Hulu. There it is. Okay.
So yep, Lionsgate has a last year they made a negative $1 billion. So let's add to the pile, baby.
No, they didn't. What? Like,
They've lost.
is that like a?
If there's anything I learned from post 2000 America is that all these big corporations just don't make money, and yet they stay open.
And no one's making money.
No one makes money apparently. I don't know what we're doing.
It's
How
gotta,
are things working? I don't know.
It's got to be they got to be able to get by on tax write-offs somehow.
They're all losses, so they can
yeah.
just write them off.
Well,
Yeah,
a lot of these
absolutely.
corporations have their headquarters in like some random European country that way they don't have to pay taxes. So yeah, like Activision had their headquarters in a basement somewhere in Europe.
So wild.
Long live tax havens.
Long live tax havens, I guess. Jesus Christ. So,
And that was the Borderlands movie review, guys. We'll see you for Borderlands 4. I'm sure it'll be here next year.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm honestly surprised we didn't get like a trailer for it during the movie, and that's not something that hyped up. Like, go see the Borderlands movie, and you'll get a trailer for Borderlands 4.
I forget what it was that I went and saw around. It was like when Borderlands 3 was being hyped when it first came out, when they put out those trailers, I remember going and seeing something in the theater, and there was a trailer for Borderlands 3 before the movie, which I thought was really weird. But I am kind of surprised that they didn't go for something or do something like that with this. Ah, well. Yeah, Borderlands 4 will eventually come out, and then we're all going to sit down, we're all going to play it, and we're going to
play it on launch day, the servers aren't going to work.
Yeah. God, don't.
It's going to be like an MMO or always online or something. I can't wait.
Yep.
Battle Pass.
Battle Pass. When fucking Gearbox gets absorbed by Activision, which is absorbed by Microsoft.
They already got absorbed by Take-Two because they were part of Embracer, and Embracer lost $1 billion. So,
oh, Jesus.
So
eventually, everything will just be Microsoft.
You know, wouldn't it be funny if the Borderlands movie does piss poor, and then that's the reason why Borderlands 4 gets canceled?
We can only pray.
Like, no shade. I'm, if Borderlands 4 comes out, I'll play it, but like, I don't really want it. I don't really need it.
Borderlands content creators.
We can hang our hats on something else.
If there's anything replaying all these games, 10 years later has taught me, is that I think we can move on from Borderlands, but we'll see how 4 does.
Yeah, we'll see.
But everything else Gearbox makes is awful, like Aliens, Colonial Marines, or Battleborn, or whatever else they work on.
Which is weird because they started off really strong, like, with all the Half-Life content.
And then they had the Brother in Arms series, and then people got sick of World War II games, and since then, yeah. Oh, Duke Nukem Forever, you can't forget Duke Nukem Forever.
Yeah, no, you can't forget that. It's funny, them picking up the 2 games that they picked up the reins on, Duke Nukem Forever and Aliens Colonial Marines, ended up being just mid-tier at best. Because I've heard some people, like, was a High Functioning Medium actually did a review of Colonial Marines recently. And he was like, listen, this is not the train wreck that everyone says it is. It's just kind of mid at best. It's still not good, but it's not the worst thing ever.
I think the main thing was all the E3 trailers were super fake, and that's what people are mostly angry about.
Oh,
just during the period where every E3 trailer was fake.
Mm-hmm. Maybe if we do get Half-Life 3, like all the rumors and the leaks are supposedly suggesting, maybe Gearbox can get in and make an expansion or some DLC for it. Continue the opposing force storyline. What happened to Adrian Shepard after
do companies even make expansions for other games anymore?
That's a good question. I don't.
Not really.
Not really. No. Like, the most that we've gotten is, I think, with the Quake remasters, where, there's Machine Games and or Night Dive coming in and making a brand new episode however many years later.
But even in that case, other than Night Dive, the main company, Bethesda owns id and owns Machine Games, where, back in the 90s, it'd be like these third-party studios making expansions, which doesn't really happen too often.
Right. You'd have to get contracted in on it. Although it would be pretty cool if, like, fucking, let's spin on this. Like, Valve makes Half-Life 3, then they're like, yeah, cool, we'll have somebody make an expansion for this. We could do, like, Opposing Force 2 or something using Half-Life 3. Like, God, like, what studio would be good? What studio would be good to make an Opposing Force? Let's just say New Blood. Let's say they get New Blood to come in and make an Opposing Force expansion for Half-Life 3. That would actually be kind of fun.
That would be.
I like seeing other studios come into a pre-established universe and just giving their take on it. Instead of trying to be like, well, let's do a full-fledged sequel. It's like, no, well, we could just stick with this, and here's just kind of an alternate take. Here's just a bit of an expansion to everything else. We're just we're doing a little bit more rather than giving you a brand new full-fledged sequel.
I don't think that happens anymore, though.
No, it doesn't.
I think video games have too many hands in the pot, and there's just way too much money involved these days.
Yeah.
And if the side company fucks it up, then the main company gets blamed.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. Alright, well that was the Borderlands movie, everybody.
That was a Borderlands movie.
Don't watch.
Dad, don't go see it in the theater.
Go see it on Hulu in like a month.
Yeah.
You probably can't even watch it. All your screenings have been canceled. Man, I'm watching the stream right now. That barrel has a really good texture.
Yeah, I think we were even just sitting there staring at it like, when's the texture gonna pop in?
That's the high quality 12 gigabyte texture pack working great.
Yeah, go watch any of our Borderlands streams instead of the Borderlands movie. Like, support your local content creator instead of this piece of shit. I say local content creator, like, you know. Like, technically...
Ranger, I want you to pull out your phone and see what screenings are on tomorrow. Did they cancel everything else?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Nope, it looks like they got all their screenings today. Maybe they were just moving things around for some reason today. No, there's 2 IMAX showings tomorrow, and then 4 showings in standard. Let me look ahead here. Oh, they take it out of Oh, that's why. They take it out of IMAX on Thursday. That's when Aliens comes out.
Yeah, once Aliens is out, this movie's done.
Oh yeah, no. I'm looking ahead to next Friday for screen time for showtimes. No, there are no showtimes as of next Friday.
Guys, you have one more week to see this cinematic masterpiece in theaters.
Absolutely 1 week and 1 week only. Oh shit, yeah, Alien is taking things over next week.
Yeah.
Which honestly I'm fine with because I'd much rather watch that. All right, well, kids, that's our review. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Our first ever live review of something.
Maybe we'll get a comment from Pancake Detective tomorrow to get his thoughts on the movie.
That would be nice. He's got to join us in our suffering. He's got to.
Maybe next stream we'll get a rundown of how he felt.
That would be cool. What do you guys want to play next time? Are we moving on to Reach, or do you guys maybe want to take a week and do some of that Doom co-op?
Yeah, I guess we can mess around with Doom Deathmatch and Doom Co-op for a bit.
Yeah, William, did you...
1993?
Yeah, Doom 1993, dude. Did you hear about the re-enhanced, remastered, re-extended edition that just came out? So, like, if you own...
on Steam?
Yeah, on Steam.
I didn't realize... I thought it was just like a fan port.
No, it's like Night Dive remaster. Like, go download Doom right now.
Yeah, it's a free upgrade to the currently existing. It's Doom 1 and 2, plus like every single expansion ever made, like TNT, Evolution, Master Levels, all of that shit.
Got
plus
Sigil 1 and 2 in there.
There's a brand.
Oh, 2.
Yeah, Sigil 1 and 2.
Definitely want to play Sigil 2.
brand new episode. A brand new episode that was made by people at id and Night Dive and Machine Games.
Oh my god!
And like Quake 1 and 2, it's got the Bethesda Net multiplayer, so you can play with, cross-platform multiplayer.
Yeah, we could.
I was gonna like learn Zandronum and all that.
We can still do that.
Oh, yeah. I'm good.
Because when it comes to specific mods, they won't work with this port. Like with things that require GZ Doom or newer source ports, it won't work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they wiped all my Oh wait, did Doom ever have achievements?
I don't think
it did, but I think they added new ones for this. So it's time to get your Chivos again.
Let's
I guess I gotta play it all again on fucking.
There you go, boys.
Violence.
But we could multiplayer it, man. We could co-op that shit now.
Now it's just.
Also has a remastered soundtrack.
Oh yeah. My god! Why are they doing this? I thought Doom. I thought once we got the once they cleaned up the catalog. I thought that was it for the old Doom ports.
Well, the previous port had a Unity front end, and we had all the bullshit with Unity last year where they were threatening to charge developers for every time something was downloaded. So I think they wanted just Night Dive to remaster it with their own engine to avoid all that shit.
I cannot believe Unity actually thought that releasing that statement was a good idea.
Yeah. Well, plus this year marks, like last year was the 30th anniversary of Doom. This year marks the 30th anniversary of Doom 2. So, it kind of makes sense.
When's Quake gonna get some love? Am I gonna have to wait till fucking?
I mean, we had 2 back-to-back Quake
2027.
concerts, Quake 1 and 2 remasters, but the only thing we're waiting on right now is a Quake 3 remaster, which,
That would be cool. Like,
Quake
if we
4
go to QuakeCon next year and they remaster Quake 3, that'll be fun.
I think that, I hate to say this, I think that as long as Quake Live is still working properly, I don't think they're ever going to remaster Quake 3. I think that's
Quake Champions is a thing.
Well, they recently ended the Quake Champions Pro League, so I don't know. It might be time here soon.
I would be fucking down with that. Give me a decent single player campaign with a good multiplayer component. They've proven that you can still have multiplayer servers, drop in, drop out, and it works and it's popular. They did that with both of the remasters. But we'll see.
Stallion.
I'd be down to do.
There's no butt stallion in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's no Handsome Jack. It would make sense. Can't have him without Butt Stallion.
Absolutely not.
I kind of hope the next Borderlands isn't until early 2026, because I feel like I still need a break after we finish Tiny Tina's Wonder World, whatever the fuck it was called.
Seriously. That eventually was fun, but it took some doing. And after almost 2 years straight of playing through Borderlands, I'm ready for a break. I'm fine with a break.
This is that fucking Boomer Shooter channel. How did we play so much Borderlands?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
We're variety streamers. I don't see people stream the same game every day. I would redact it myself.
Technically a Boomer Shooter channel, primarily a first-person shooter. I'll play any first-person shooter.
We're a Red Babe channel.
Yeah, that's coming, I swear to God. That's coming. What I want to do is...
We're a Neon White channel.
So hold on. I was literally about to say that. Let me finish.
Okay.
So November, my plan in November is I'm going to keep it color matching. It's going to stay on theme. So November, I want to do a Red Babe and a Neon White video in November.
This is Giddy month. All the Giddy recommendations.
Exactly, it's Giddy month. If there's a first person shooter that's got blue in the title, also I'll make it a triple. I'll do a trilogy: Red Babe, Neon White, and I'm not Blue Shift. I'm not playing Blue Shift. No.
The
theme of the month by Apple 65 is blue.
No. All right, kids, that's the stream. Thank you for listening to us rant about the Borderlands movie.
I think we've ranted about this movie longer than the movie lasted.
I think so. Yeah, we're longer than the movie.
Yeah, we're at the 2-hour mark. We've already surpassed the Borderlands. You could have watched the Borderlands movie while we were talking.
Absolutely, and you probably enjoyed. Although I don't want to say we should do this, but what if we did a Mystery Science Theater 3000? Where we watch the Borderlands movie at some point and we just riff on it while we're watching it.
Maybe, but not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon.
Again. Once we get the movie from Walmart.
Yeah, once we get it from Walmart, then we'll maybe.
Yeah. Patreon exclusive.
Oh yeah, Patreon exclusive.
So I'm subscribed to some people on Patreon, and what they do is they upload to a website called Streamable. So whenever they riffing on movies, they upload it there to avoid copyright stuff.
Oh, I love that. That's good to know. Taking notes. All right, thanks for joining us for the stream. We'll catch you guys next week.
Go watch us playing Borderlands.
Yeah, and stay hydrated while you're at it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.